throw it back. Yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason looked out, it's clear to see. All eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hated and love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player. You ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice and super.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. On second down, here's Loletta. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, Loletta. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Everson Griffin. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Riley Dixon now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's fielded at the 45. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. First and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On second down, Cook. And a short gain down to about the 33. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Let's go, let's go. Yellow, yellow. He's in there. Yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
First carry now for Tyler Urban. Down to the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
First. John. Hey, Clifford. Hey, Clifford. We're going. Let's go.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Now Saquon Barkley. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sheldon Richardson busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Check. Lucky.
Detroit! All right, now, Lucky 56. Over.
And Lauletta just beating the play clock. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And some room to roam now. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Cousins on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. The 2nd down carry for Urban. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it.
Receiver. We're going. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch 17. Watch 17. Gun.
Here's Lauletta after the interception. He dumps it off to Barkley. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Lauletta now on 2nd. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Wide.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
We're going. Let's go.
On 1st down, Murray. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Spurs.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Throw left side complete. It's Murray. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, 382, list 50. List 50. We're going. Let's go.
They pitch it out to Murray. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Let's go. Lucky 50. Here we go. List 50.
So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. Murray the lone setback. Cousins to throw it this time. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Gun!
From the gun, here's Lauletta. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun. Check.
The shotgun snap to Lauletta. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Watch him now, Barney!
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Giants on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Walletta now to throw it. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. He finds an opening past the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Yellow. Wide.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Rhino! Shoot! Black! Zebra!
Throwing is Cousins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Over! Gun!
Walletta on 1st down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Back to throw, Walletta. Leaping, and he makes the grab. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Gun!
Walletta, he'll look to throw. And able to find Kirk complete. And nothing but daylight ahead. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A first down throw for Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A toss to Murray. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second down, Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw is Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Carlson now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time. How
many plays do you script coming out of the second
half? Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Lauletta. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They give it off here to the tight end. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Now that run, that's exactly why you stay with the running game. You don't abandon it totally. You stick with it, keep telling your guys to stay motivated, and they found a crease on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
On 1st down, Lauletta escaping the pressure right. On the catch, this is Russell Shepard. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
The toss out to Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
On 2nd down, here's Lauletta. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down. A handoff to Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll go to Barkley again. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Lauletta to throw. To Barkley on the check down. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. And they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Vikings. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Wide.
10th carry of the game now, Murray. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Yellow. Hey, flipper. Yellow.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver there, Tyler Irvin. And now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, Cousins. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now it's Lauletta. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
On 1st down, Irvin. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Throwing, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Handoff. It's Murray. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Here's Cousins, and he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Lauletta after the interception. Muscles him off. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Out of the gun, Lauletta. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And give him a gain of 37. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And Lauletta's going to throw it here. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Gone! Over!
Lauletta now to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's Lauletta. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They give him a gain of 38. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Instead of a run, Lauletta wants to throw it. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now Lauletta. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete. And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one. Whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. And that disastrous play, partner, is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they gave up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's happened to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
The New York set to take the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5.